Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Speed Gaming Daily. Today's mode is open flute. We'll get into that in just a moment. I am Lana Bean, joined today by Mr. Ed. How you doing?
I am doing fantastic. I'm looking forward to this race. To about ready to get off any moment now. As you hinted earlier, we have ourselves open flute today, so it's your open 7-7 mode. Except the convenience that our runners have, will have an activated flute, so it'll make navigating the world a heck of a lot easier for them. So looking forward to seeing this. It promotes a lot of divergence, and we'll see what our runners choose to do.
Absolutely. And today we are joined by Raka, and we are also joined by Jinxie Girl doing the tracking for us. And we're getting help today by Jaxie with helping with the restream. Thank you all so much. And today's runners are Koi, GFE, Norsk Maddie, and Homemade Beer out of a pool of, looks like, oh goodness, my screen just went way off the screen. Pool of runners.
Yeah, I think it's at least 14, but as we get ourselves started, I like this. We have the bottom screen start at Link's house, the top screen started at Sank, and here's the divergence that we're talking about. We got Norsk Maddie going to the dam, we have Beer going to the Saha area, we have GFE, looks like he's going to Lost Woods, and Koi is making his way possibly to check Lumberjack, which is a nice play, I like.
Absolutely. Pretty early. Or early flute for everybody. They get that activated, so lots of options open routing wise. Ooh, good tree pull by GFE. Bombs.
And we get ourselves green pendant information from Homemade Beer. Today it is pod. We have green pendant pod today. Interesting.
Speaking of beer, we get a sword at Saha.
And with that early flute, we're just going to be seeing a lot of movement here. There's going to be a lot of work that the duck, goose, the fowl is going to end up having to do today. So hopefully our runners are kind to the fun farm animal as he's doing a lot of work today.
And the early mushroom turn in by Norsk Maddie scored $20. Not much going on there. Was that a glove I just spied on Desert Ledge?
I believe it was.
It looks like a cape and ether so far out of Blindside. Blue mail
Nice.
too.
Yeah, nice mail upgrade that we have here. As Agahnim, GFE goes ahead and checks Agahnim just for $20. As Homemade Beer is going to make his way to Mini Moldorm Cave. There'll be 5 checks there. We got the action fast and furious here. I like it, Lana. How about you?
Absolutely. Everybody doing different things at different times or at the same time. It makes for great routing differences. And that was a Mire for Homemade Beer, a little bit of money and arrows. So good cave for Mini Moldorm too.
He's going to go ahead and turn in that mushroom for the $20, but that mirror that he did find ends up opening up a little bit onto the mountain. The runners would have the ability to be able to go to Hera, not be able to do necessarily much, but we already see the seeds start to open up just a little bit.
Looks like Koi having a little issue with Mini Moldorm K, but does take all of them out with a couple bombs to spare. Homemade Beer electing to go rescue Gary. He got lost again in the cave. We don't know how he keeps doing that.
There must be something appealing to him in there. He keeps probably losing his lunch or something, or maybe he's trying to help. Maybe he's actually related to the sick hidden cack, and is trying to find a homemade cure for his sickness.
Speaking of sick, Norse Maddie turns in a bottle and gets rewarded with flippers.
The kid holding out on the goods wants to go out for a swim, but unfortunately, more than likely had hypothermia for dipping into the cold water earlier in the day.
I like Norsk Maddie's tracker right now. If we get hook shot, that's a full right side there. Good bingo.
As we did get we did see on library from Norsk Maddie's side, we see Bombos on the ledge. It'll be interesting to see if that's going to be necessary for either entry to TR or Mire, or also if it's actually required to be able to complete Ice Pals.
To be determined. Now, we do know a book's going to eventually be available because you're not going to be able to get that glove off Desert without actually going to Desert first.
Mire went ahead and did a map check, and it was like the quickest map check that I've ever seen in history. The only thing that I saw of real interest was it was a pendant Turtle Rock, and we have a pendant Hera, so we actually know our pendants today. It's Pod, Hera, and there's a hammer, by the way. Oh, that is a nice find for beer.
Homemade beer with the early plays so far. Good job. Okay. Looks like Koi following in hot pursuit, rescuing Gary, but without a sword. A little extra challenging. Pulls it off nicely, though. So, unfortunately for Koi, oh, he's leaving. Okay, I was going to say, if he climbs the mountain, he's going to get a hammer, but no sword.
It is interesting to note, as once again we do see that glove that's on Desert Ledge. That means in order to get that glove, Book is going to be hard required to get it, because the only other way to be able to get through Desert is to have the mitts and the mirror with the activated flute. But because the mitts would essentially just be there, or at least one of the progressive gloves, that Book is going to be hard required. So it'll be interesting to see when that pops up, if it's going to be early game or if it's going to be something that's much later down the line.
Well, we've got our hammer, we've got our moon pearl. I'm guessing the Book is going to be pretty quick here.
We also do have a cape from Norsk Maddie, so keep in mind we're also just a lamp away from possible Aga.
That is a good point.
Speaking of lamp, there it is from Homemade Beer side in the bottom of Paradox Cave. So my Aga 1 senses are a little bit tingling, possibly.
We do have that sword as well, so it is 100% logic.
Oh, did I just see what I think I just saw from Beer's side?
I don't know, did you?
I'd like to believe I didn't, but unfortunately he found magic powder, which now with that hammer opens up the magic bat as an option.
We don't want that, do we?
Well, a lot of people want it. I don't.
At least with that flute, it is an early, easy turn-in.
EFE going ahead and making the play to the front of Escape here, see if anything comes from there. Norsuke Maddie's taking his flippers, and he's going to go ahead and check the man under the bridge, see if he's got anything good for today.
Just a $20 tip. Good bomb strats from GFE on Escape. Well done.
Yeah, GFE definitely showing he is one of the really good runners into this community. Definitely showing off some of the strats that he has. And by the way, shout out to GFE. Today is his birthday.
Happy birthday to GFE.
And with that lamp, Veer is going to go ahead and actually finish out Tower of Hera. He got that lamp just in case if Tower of Hera ended up being locked behind the big key in the basement, which would require fire source. But fortunately for him, the big key was just in the lobby chest here, and he's going to go ahead and see if there's anything of use here as he makes his way to Boldorm.
Manny not finding much up in the Zora area. Not enough money to actually check Zora yet.
Zelda Cell just providing 3 bombs there. Go ahead, Lana.
All good. And I was just going to say, interestingly enough, Homemade Bear, the only one checking Saha so far, getting that sword. I'll speak of the devil. There goes Koi heading towards Saha. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, that's quite all right. We got Koi heading to Saha. We got Norsk Maddie heading to Saha. We got GFE's going to be finishing up some of the CAC stuff as Beer gets his first pendant. First on the board. The pendant may not necessarily be required, but we could always hope there'd be something on pedestal.
Well, we know it's not going to be Mitz.
And unfortunately, Beard did not find the second item in the Tower of Hera, so he's going to go ahead and do the basement for the final item. And see if it's anything of use here. He's going to take a little bit of a coffee break here so he can relax, because it's been a very strenuous 11 minutes for him so far.
Agreed. Probably very stressed out. Yeah, kind of fortunate for GFE. He played that flute so early that if that race game had anything, that bird was going to get him regardless.
That race game never has anything, until it does.
True. And Hero Basement for Beer has a fire rod.
Wow, fire locking fire. So the lamp that was in the Paradox Cave on the Paradox 2 results into a hard required fire rod, which, by the way, when we saw an earlier map check, we now actually have all of our dungeon information. The pendants are Turtle Rock, Palace of Darkness, and Tower of Hera, with the red crystals of Desert Palace and Swamp Palace.
Koi making the same play into Hera, but will he give in and go to the basement?
It's going to be interesting to note that because he is doing Hera first, he won't be able to get the item in the basement because he does not have a fire source. His fire source is going to come from Paradox Cave, and that's going to be a real interesting decision that he's going to have to make if he wants to actually go ahead and come back just to check the basement, which we do know is going to be hard required.
That's a good point. I completely forgot that fire source is on East F Mountain, so no way to do the basement yet. You're right.
As all of our runners are kind of going over the same checks that they're doing, it's kind of important to note that I believe the only thing that we really haven't seen that really would still be in logic is the actual Eastern Palace play. They do have the ability for fake flippers, so they can check Waterfall Ferry if they'd like. If they farm enough money for Zora, they could also get that, but unfortunately without the... Actually, no, the flippers do put that in logic, but our runners are starting to run out of checks combined, and it really is starting to look stronger to the possibility of having this be an Agaseed.
Magic Bet is another possibility, but yeah, when does that have progression?
We're not going to talk about that. Magic Bat always has nothing until it has something, which more than likely today it probably will have something just to laugh at my face.
It'll be fine. Speaking of, here goes Beer to check that bat. I think the book is high up on our suspect list to be somewhere accessible, probably, maybe.
Well, I can tell you this much. The bat is going to be, I don't know, 3 bombs. Let's see it. Let's see if I'm right today.
Well, not completely useless, but not really useful either. So I think, since we already have a bottle, we can say Magic Bat was useless.
I would agree with that sentiment right there. Also important to note, Lana, I did kind of miss this. GFE and Norse Schematic have hookshot. Where was that?
That's a good point. Hey chat, where is a hookshot? Front of Escape. Thank you, Jinxie Girl, one of our trackers. You're amazing.
Tracker's making us look like gold here. I love it.
And now Koi with a very important decision. The thing is that the Fire Rod is not going to lock any immediate progression, so he does not have to go back.
Oh, he is choosing to save and quit. That's gonna hurt a little bit down the line.
Well, still a couple things going. If you find that book, you can get pushed up there to check Ether Tablet, or if you find a glove eventually, you can go into the Spy Cave, which could push you in there, so there's still some outs.
And with Koi going back in, or going into checking the uncle here with what little he probably actually does have left, I would imagine that his Aga 1 senses are definitely tingling pretty hard here, because he has very few logical checks left. He might go ahead and do this over actually going ahead and checking Eastern, because when you have a sword, a cape, a lamp, two of the 3 parts of the Dark World access, it's kind of very hard not to think that this could very well be that Aga seed we're talking about.
And I think Koi is highly likely to do it because you have flippers, you have hookshot, so you have logical West Dark World access at this point. Unfortunately for him, if progression lies in the back of Skull Woods, that's not good. And I believe we missed it, but GFE did elect to do that as well, did not go back into Hera.
Yeah, this will, like you said earlier, there are definitely some outs that both of them will have in regards to being able to get that fire rod from Hera Basement. Hopefully they find it sooner than later to be able to drive them up. But as you had mentioned before, if progression is in the back of Skullwood, say for example, whether it is a glove or whether it happens to be the book to get the first logical glove, it might be a little while before they get that. And it'll be a little bit of a time loss because of them having to go back up to Hera to get the fire rod to make the trip all the way back to Skullwood. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
It's true. The only thing a lack of glove will do is stop you from checking catfish. Otherwise, all those early Dark World checks are gonna still be checkable. Okay, Norsk Maddie, are you going to Hera? Okay, Norsk Maddie doing it in the right order too, getting that lamp. So gonna have that Hera basement choice.
Yeah, and that's at this point with Maddie's situation here. I'd be actually very surprised if he does not do Hera basement, because he does have so very few checks left, and with his knowledge that he has as far as the glove on Desert Ledge, the book could very well be into the Hera basement. But as we know, it is Fire Rod, which is going to be just as important later down the road. I just personally find it funny that despite all the very early game divergence, all of our runners are more than likely going to end up in the very same spot, the one spot that they probably were hoping to avoid, which will be Castle Tower in the completion of Aga 1.
And here's that expected play from Koi. Gonna go climb that tower.
GFE paying a visit to the Waterfall Ferry and is getting some blue potions, I believe.
I think that was a good bee. So $100, pretty good.
And I wish I got $100 for finding a bee and giving it to a random vendor. That'd be nice.
Zora money. Very, very, very smart of GFE. So GFE electing to... Did he use the blue potion to get a second slot to get 2 bees?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I saw him having a blue potion there, and I thought that's initially what the Waterfall Fairy was providing. But yeah, that's what he ended up doing, is he used up his blue potion to get the second golden bee, so that he could easily get the money from the bottle vendor, who gives out $100 per golden bee, and is very satisfied, to say the least. And he's able to get just enough money to go ahead and do Zora, and see if anything of consequence will be here.
Hey, Norse Medi. There we go. Alright, doing a good thing, getting that fire rod.
All that hard work for getting that Zora money just for a full heart container from Zora.
I guess that could be worse category? Yeah.
Health is never a bad thing. Always makes you feel good. So interesting to note that we have our top runners here on Restream, Koi and GFE, who did not do Hera Basement. It's actually interesting. GFE is going to go ahead and do Hera Basement, so he will be getting his Fire Rod. It's not immediate progression, but Koi is still going to be not having that Fire Rod for quite a while. So again, we'll see when he decides to be able to make that check back up to Hera Basement.
A lot of checks available in Dark World. You got Pyramid Pod if you want to. You can hook shot to the left, check Graveyard Ledge, Thieves Town, Front of Skull, Pipe Cave, all sorts of things.
As Koi gives us our first look at the Aga 1 fight. There's our first blue ball. How many blue balls do you think we're going to get, Lana?
Good point. Chat, how many blue balls are we gonna get? I'm gonna go with 3.
I'll go with 7. Although 7 seems highly unlikely, but you know, a man could wish.
Dual Aga fights going on from Homemade Beer and Koi.
Wow, that ended up only being 1, I believe. That's impressive.
That is not bad at all.
Alright, moment of truth here. Desert Ledge, or Pyramid Ledge, we have just 3 bombs, so the progression, unless it happens to be in Eastern, it is going to be somewhere into this Dark World. It'll be interesting again to see what we find, knowing that we do see that glove on Desert Ledge. Again, that book should hopefully be coming shortly.
And could Hype Cave actually be Hype this seed? What do you think, chat? Are we going to see some hype in Hype Cave in a minute?
Boy, doing the nice thing here, he was able to check the man under the bridge here using the mirror and the flippers. And now he has the option if he wants to go to Pod or if he's going to go down south to Hype. He's thinking about it and looks like he's going to make his way down to Hype Cave.
What do you think, Ed? Are we going to see some hype today?
I think it's going to be an utter disappointment, to be honest. As he makes his way down to there, it looks like he's actually going to make a stop to see what's on the floating island, which is just a piece of heart. Interesting to note, GFE is making the Eastern play. He is making Aga 1 the absolute last thing possible.
And we'll take this time to welcome Speed Gaming Raiders, party of 196. Hello, everybody. I am Lanavine. I am joined today by Mr. Ed with the co-comming here, and we also have Raka and Jinxie Girl handling all the tracking. Welcome, everybody.
Yep, for the Raiders, we have ourselves a Link to the Past daily race here. We have ourselves Open Boots, 7-7, defeat Ganon, with the exception of we end up having activated Flute upon the start to help with the mobility. As we go ahead and we got the Hype Cave check, the only thing of real consequence I saw was the Cane of Burna. Give us another invincibility source.
We don't have boots, Ed.
Boots would be important for... what?
Just teasing. You said it was Open Boots.
Oh, I did say Open Boots. I meant Open Flute.
It's all good. We just got a different form of mobility.
GFE still making that Eastern play and still really nothing. Got 300 rupees, which is nice because he did spend all that money on Zora. So he should be set on money when he does go to the Dark World to be able to go into Pod, check the game, and check the chess game.
Ring Pendant Pod. You do have a lamp, you do have a hammer, you just don't have a bow. Tempting.
Speaking of tempting, Koi and Beer are going to go ahead and looks like they're going to make the dive into Swamp Palace here, where there are 6 available items. But the choice of doing left side swamp is always going to be an interesting one. And it is one of our red crystals, so definitely is going to be hard required to complete in order to defeat the game.
Well, it is a completely beatable crystal dungeon at this point, so it is a good call. You do know what they say about swamp, always a sword, unless there's not.
I'll go out on a limb and say there will be a sword today. What do you think?
I think Swamp Palace will be completely empty today.
Bold, I like it.
Nothing out of Eastern Palace for Norsk Maddie. And GFE making the Aga play. So at this point, we can officially say, yes, this is an Aga seed. But is that Fire Rod gonna hurt Koi at all here?
Well, there's the sword in Swamp Palace. Thank you very much for your time.
Well, yeah, we discussed that, didn't we? Alright, I'll call that progression.
That Master Sword is the minimum requirement needed in order to defeat Ganon, so yeah, I would call that progression.
And Koi pulling off a nice diver down here. Let's see what he does with that bomb. Fire Snake says, try again. And Stalfo says, try again.
There we go, but being persistent, he gets it. Nicely done, Koi.
You know, that is a good point. I don't know. I would think Beer would have done Front of Escape before going to Aga. We'll just have to tell when he does a menu.
Left side swamp today, providing us a map of Swamp Palace. And the second item here is 300 rupees.
Another one that's kind of could be worse, but at the same time, we don't need a whole lot of money at this point.
Now, it is interesting to know if Beer actually did not get that hook shot, he is going to have to go to the back of Escape in order to, yeah, he never got that hook shot. He's going to have to get that, or actually to the front of Escape, to get that hook shot, because he does not have a way to be able to get to West Dark World with what he has. He would end up having to make a choice between either doing the front of Escape, Eastern Palace, or dipping into Palace of Darkness.
If he finds that book at Stumpy or Dig Game, it could throw him off the Front of Escape for a while.
Now, the nice thing to note is he was going to go ahead and he's going to complete Stumpy and Dig Game by the looks of it, but once that comes up to nothing, as long as he does not mirror out, he's going to save and quit, and he's going to start right into the Dark World. So if he wanted to, he could literally just mirror from there and go ahead and do the Front of Escape to see what he did miss, and he'll see that hook shot. He may be regretting skipping that for the time being.
And then he'll probably curse at the seed and make it go back to Swamp Palace.
Just 3 bombs here from K45 on Beer's side here. As Norsk Maddie goes ahead and finishes up his Aga 1 fight, and GFE is about ready to start his Aga 1 fight here.
Homemade Beer picks up those bombs. I'm proud of him. Hey, more bombs! Ooh, and Norsk Maddie electing to go north before south. And about to find out... Oh wait, you can do it with the hammer. You're good.
Yeah, the only thing that he can't do here is without the glove, he cannot make the check for catfish here, but he does have all of North and West Dark World that he can check here, including completing Skull Woods if he'd like to, and then he could always loop it around and end towards Hype Cave and or Swamp Palace if he chooses. So I do like this play because it kind of just, at this point you're kind of scrambling to find out where is that next level of progression. Is it going to be a glove, or is it going to be that book that allows us to get the glove from Desert Ledge?
Well, we find $20 at Big Game, and then Beer goes to Pod?
Yeah, this looks like the pot play. Looks like the front of Escape is going to be holding off, but here he's going to be able to do Eastern and Palace of Darkness. So he's thinking the amount of checks that he has here is going to be worthwhile. Unfortunately, we know that Eastern Palace does not have much of anything, but it'll be interesting to see what Palace of Darkness does have for him.
Never said, but that's an evil shield in the front of Hype Cave.
As long as we avoid all three, I know you'll be content.
Shields are evil, chat. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Norse Commandy's going to go ahead and take a look to see what's on Lumberjack, even though we cannot acquire. By the way, it is the King of Samaria.
That seems required.
Well, geez, at this point, is Pedestal going to be hard required for, a nice, joyous, all-dungeon seat at this point?
It'd be scary. I mean, you need that for TR, which is a pendant.
Mire being a crystal, it's definitely hard required to have that, but also too, the one piece of positive news that I take from seeing an item there is the fact that boots are going to be coming at some point.
Gosh, I think Pedestal's dead at this point. I'm kind of going through my head. Can't be Ice Rod. Can't be a useful bow. Can't be mitts.
Pedestal, to my knowledge, has one of two things. It could either be a medallion, or it could very well be a bow.
But Pod is already a pendant, so it can't be the only bow.
That is true. Also, actually, it is worth noting that Koi did find a bow, so that is one less option. So basically, it's only a medallion, to my knowledge, that could possibly be on Pedestal, which, at this point, I'm going to hope for.
That's true. Never give up hope. Koi still elected.
Yeah, and Beard did find that book in Palace of Darkness, so he's now going to get his glove, but it's more than likely going to steer him away from the front of Escape a little bit harder. So between Koi not having the fire rod from Hera Basement and Beard not having the hook shot from the front of Escape, it'll be really interesting to see when they decide to go back and do those checks.
That's true. Swamp and Desert being Pyramid Fairy, that's not going to push you back anytime soon. Plus, of course, you need Hookshot to do Swamp. So there's really no reason for Beer to check that anytime soon.
Maddie going ahead and taking on Mothula and doing a fantastic job there, making a quick work of Mothula for the red meringue.
That's totally required, right?
It's a convenience. I always like to have one, if not both, boomerangs. Fluff up that collection just a little bit.
The lag meringue does its thing. Speaking of ice rod, just
There's the ice rod. Yay to that.
what do you think? Mitts coming up and entry 2TR Ether for boots.
Can't be. Canis Samaria is on Lumberjack, and
Oh,
can't.
darn it.
Yeah, there won't be any boots into there. For just as much as Pedestal is on its last hopes, any progression is going to be very hard to come by in Turtle Rock. Because there's not going to be much available there that our runners will need in order to finish the seed.
Has only one of our runners checked Lumberjack so far?
Hoy might have earlier, but I'm not 100% certain if he actually did see. I know that he made his way up towards there, but not 100% certain if he actually went into there. But it is good knowledge that Norse Committee has, at the very least, over Beer and GFE, who I do not believe have checked Lumberjack.
And to answer a quick comment in chat, we know Bombos is actually on the library, so only thing that could be there medallion-wise would be Quake.
And there's that bow from GFE, which is interesting. Beer was unable to do the back of Skullwoods, or back of Swamp Palace, because he does not have the hook shot. And so it's going to end up being a hard required double dip for him in order to be able to complete that dungeon.
And the second evil shield in Skullwoods for Koi. But not having that fire rod, he's got to dip out here. What a good Argus fight so far from GFE. I had to say something. But finishes it off nicely with a couple of fire rod shots and a master sword spin.
I don't think you jinxed him there. That was an excellent fight all the way around. Argus just got a little bit away in the final phase there, but was able to clean it up very nicely. This might end up working out. He does have options if he wants to go ahead and finish what he needs to do here in the Dark World as far as K45 is concerned. Actually, he's going to go ahead and check the Skullwoods or Swamp Palace big chest here first. Yeah, he's got some options now. Pod definitely is going to look more enticing with that bow. And we know that the book is there, which will lead him to his first glove. So things are actually, in my opinion, working out pretty favorably for GFE here.
Very true. A little bit slower to Aga, but overall, slow and steady can win the race.
Gets his full heart container and gets out of there and is going to go ahead, and I'm going to take the assumption that he is going to go ahead and check K45, Stumpy, and Dig Game, knowing that he could just save and quit and get himself to pod pretty easily.
And we just found French vanilla mitts in the back of Thieves Town.
Interesting. Even with a slow start here, with those mitts, Beer's going to have the ability, when he chooses to go ahead to at least check the Mire area. Now, we know that he is not in go mode, but we're almost to the point where we might be into no mode. We'll know what the medallion is for Mire We know that we need boots. We know where the hookshot and the bow is for Beer, and we know where the cane of Samaria is. So, Seed is all of a sudden starting to come together pretty quickly here.
But if those boots were in Hookshot Cave, could be a bad thing for Beer.
The convenient thing with finding that mirror, finding the mitts here in Thieves Town is if he chooses to, Beer could elect to do the Smith chain and get that done and over with, out of the way. He still believes that he needs quite a few items in order to finish the game. So I would not be surprised to see him go ahead and do this.
Well, Norsk Maddie's routing is actually going to turn out pretty well here. Going to be able to route south, take out everything down there, and end it at Swamp Palace.
He's going to be able to end it at Swamp Palace, and then, depending on what he'd like to do, he'll be able to go ahead and he can go to Palace of Darkness for the book. He can finish out Eastern Palace once he gets his bow from Swamp Palace, assuming that he gets himself into there. So yeah, things, in my opinion, are actually looking pretty good for both GFE and Norsk Maddie. And we'll see if Beer and Koi can get their respective items from not so friendly locations. And we have boots for Beer. I think the Smiths ended up taking shoe crafting as a hobby now. That's a really nice thing to have right now for him.
Just trying to give Adidas a run for their money. Couldn't resist, sorry.
No, and with those boots, he's going to be able to get Bombos here in the library.
I don't think Beer scouted Lumberjack, did he?
No, he did not. So, yeah, this has turned into quite an interesting seed here. What do you think, Lana? I'm really liking what I'm seeing here.
I like it too. It's different shows of routing, seeing what's going on and what's going to happen with the runners, because Koi needs to go get the book to get mitts, so those boots are going to be a ways away. GFE is similar, kind of. Gonna get that book to get the glove, but how quickly do you go into Thieves Town? Beer seems to have the most consistent routing, but everything he's getting is going to push him further and further away from the escape for that hookshot. And Norsk Maddie seems to be right in the middle, getting all the progression just a little bit slower, but the routing is working out so well right now. But going to be short those boots, yeah, sorry.
Oh, that's quite alright. Yeah, so Beer, I did not get a chance to see what the medallion was. It looked like it might have been Bombos, but then conveniently Mire had Quake, so he has all three medallions. So it's interesting to know that both Pedestal and Turtle Rock are basically dead at this point. There's not going to be any progression, and as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, we're actually in no mode between all four runners. We know where everything is in order to finish the game.
That is a very good point. All of our runners just missing a little bit of progression each. But that progression are in some weird spots for the runners that have missed it. To answer a question in chat, Samaria is on Lumberjack, but only a couple of our runners have actually checked it.
By the way, we may have mentioned it earlier, but GFE's MSU, which is one of the nice things that we have going on here, is certain MSUs have been approved for restream purposes. Are you familiar with what GFE's MSU is here today, Lana?
Absolutely, this is Super Mario RPG. Love it.
Yeah, this is a really good MSU. This is the nice thing about the community that we have here is there's a lot of very smart and intelligent people, far better than I am, that are able to make auxiliary tracks for this game. So despite how good the vanilla music is, we're able to enjoy different versions of music tracks thanks to these great content creators. So to all of them, we thank you very much for this.
Absolutely. We thank them so much, almost as much as the actual creators of the rando.
As we get Beer here is able to finish out Desert Palace here, gets his second crystal. GFE is going to go ahead and defeat Helbasar here. He's going to be able to get his second crystal. So we're starting to slowly progress our way through the game here, with all of our runners doing completely different things. This is the divergence I was talking about earlier that I love to see. And I stand corrected. I forgot Palace of Darkness is just a green pendant today.
But a good Helma fight from GFE, and does pick up that book as well. So Koi's starting to look around for some of that progression at this point. Alright, Koi making the right call, going to Pod, going to pick up that book to get that glove, which will be the mitts. I imagine Smith Chain will probably come pretty quickly. Probably after Mire, though. Norsk Manny making their way into Swamp Palace, going to get rewarded eventually with not only a crystal but a bow. Don't do it, Beer, it's a trap! Don't do it! Oh.
Okay, as long as we don't find that third shield, all will be okay, Lana. I promise you. I promise you. So as our runners here, they're retracing each other's steps with the nice amount of divergence that we have here. That all of our runners are now doing what somebody else has already done. So now would be a real good time to make mention to give these runners a follow. Koi, GFE, Norsk Maddie, and Homemade Beer. They're four of some really good runners in this community who are putting on a good show here. And we definitely appreciate their time and allowing us to restream for your guys' entertainment. And if you enjoy what you see, feel free to give them a follow. I know for a fact that they'll definitely very much appreciate it. And they do some other stuff too, and hopefully they'll entertain you with other things.
While you're at it, give my co-com Mr. Ed a follow. Give Rocco a follow. Give Jinxie Girl a follow. They're doing a great job with the restream here.
To mention, give Lana Bean a follow here. It's always so much fun to be able to share the commentary booth here with you. It always seems that anytime that we're on comms, we get one of the more interesting seeds that we can imagine. So it is my honor and pleasure to be able to join myself here with you, and I thank you very much.
Likewise, my friend. And we did find a minute ago that I don't think we commented on. We did find a green 20 in the Pod Big chest, which is going to be those, the flute. That's the word I was looking for.
As Beer goes ahead and takes down Mothula, is going to be getting his red meringue here. And this is his third crystal. Again, this would be interesting. With the routing that he does have, this might be the most convenient time for him to check to see what's on Lumberjack, considering that he does have boots. This might be his best chance right here.
And as a quick recap, Homemade Beer needs to go to the front of Escape to get that hook shot. Needs to go to Lumberjack to get the Sumaria. Koi needs to go to Pod to get the book, to get the glove, and also go up to Hero Basement to get the Fire Rod. And Norse Maddie and GFE are pretty much just playing the seed and doing the things.
Alright, what does Saha have for Green Pendant turn in for GFE? I'm going to say a piece of heart.
I'll go with that. Oh.
That actually is the fourth known bottle here too. That's we have the knowledge of all 4 bottles here today.
GFE is about to get their glove, but does need to go to Thieves Town to get the mitts, to get the boots off of Blacksmith Chain.
Here from the first Pengator room is able to get Tempered Sword, so that'll be a nice luxury to have.
But no Samaria for Icebreaker.
Yeah, he chose to just ignore, even though he has those boots. That was about as good of a time as he possibly could have. Even though he could save and quit at Sank at any point, he could have had that availability to check what was on Lumberjack or just go ahead and blind get it to see if there was progression there.
Okay, Koi going to Pod, gonna get that book. Norse Manny going to Pod, gonna get that book.
Yeah, Koi's going to go ahead and he's going to, even with that book, he's going to continue on to see if there's anything else into Palace of Darkness, which, to my knowledge, I don't believe there is much of anything. So, yeah, this ought to be interesting here. GFE is going ahead. It looks like he actually stole the small key, and he's going to make his way to the front of Desert here. And he's going to go check what's on the right side. But there's a small key on the torch, I believe, so he still is going to need those boots in order to finish this.
Yeah, not really gonna do anything for him. We know nothing's over there but the big key. Because you're not going to be able to beat it without the small key. Pretty much Homemade Beer giving us the only new checks that we haven't seen. But at the same time, as Mr. Ed said, we pretty much are in commentator no mode at this point.
This is one of those things where you'd like to be able to go to the runner and say, no, this is where you got to go, but it's so much fun to see what decisions that they end up having to make, and it's a joy as a commentator just to see where everything is and just wonder how our runners are going to route and be able to check what is actually necessary in order to defeat the game here today.
And also, how badly I would have routed this.
Yeah, imagine making any skips in this game at this point.
We're going to get an ether tablet check from GFE, and Homemade Beer is about to head into Cold Stare. And Norse Manny finishes off Eastern Palace. I never noticed that Vanilla 5 in the back of Pod.
If he's actually also given us a look in here into Spike Cave as Beer goes ahead and finishes off Cold Stare for his 4th crystal, but is still in need of the hook shot and the Cane of Samaria. And the bow that is actually in the Swamp Palace as well.
And we found that Spike Cave is just a small heart container, heart piece, I should say.
Now, going back to Beer's side, the best thing for him to happen is for him to find that Cane of Samaria first. And the reason why is because the Cane of Samaria, well, actually... you know what? They're both equally as bad. He's probably better off finding that hookshot first. Yeah, but then he'd be tempted to go to Dark Death Mountain for Hookshot Cave. This is gonna be this is gonna be a little tricky for him.
But it looks like we're gonna get that check. He's gonna get that Samaria. Get tempted to go to Turtle Rock. Very awkward position. Obviously gonna go to the Mire area first. That double take.
He's probably going saying, why is that there? So he'll go ahead and pick this up. And yeah, I'd imagine he's gonna make his way over to finish off Misery Mire, but after that, it's going to be very hard for him not to think about Turtle Rock, considering that there is a second bow out there. If one happens to be in Turtle Rock, he may be more enticed to go ahead and finishing off Pod and really just doing a very hard last locate on that hook shot in the front of Escape.
I do not see that hook shot being found anytime soon for sure. It's kind of like Koi with that Fire Rod. I mean, the only thing Fire Rod kind of puts you off of doing right now is the back of school and probably a good portion of Turtle Rock. But I could easily see him doing Hera Basement before even thinking about doing Turtle Rock for sure.
And just a quick mention in chat here. Yes, in this mode, there are 2 actual bows. Bows here, it's not non-progressive bows. There are actually 2 full-fledged bows in here. We do know where one of them is in the back of Swamp Palace. We don't know where the second one is. It could very well be in Turtle Rock. It could very well be in, say, Ganon's Tower, but if there is a bow in Turtle Rock, it may send Beer into yet another direction that would be not so favorable to him.
Basically, the game sees as the first place bow as the logical bow, and the second bow it sees as trash, if you will. It can place it anywhere in the entire game that it wants to. Sometimes that second bow is placed super early, and sometimes it's just hiding out on GT or pedestal.
GFE picking up that second shield. I know that you're cringing just a little bit, Lana.
Can't deny it.
And it is also worth noting that Bombos is entry into Mire, so those boots are required to go into the library to get the Bombos medallion to get into Mire here today. You know, and I was about to try to give a nice little shout out to Homemade Beer, to try to show everybody how to really do the Mire 2 room real quick here, and then he decided to throw an errant fireball or fire rod shot. So I'm gonna try not to ever give him a compliment ever again, knowing that every time I think he's gonna do something good, he does something like that. But then again, he's one of my friends, so I can say that to him.
And a Godmire to boot.
Yeah, so Beer's gonna elect to go ahead and finish off Vitreous here, and I'm gonna assume more than likely go ahead and check out the rest of Mire afterwards. Yeah, he's gonna have some decisions to make here very shortly.
I just don't see the front of his gate being checked before Turtle Rock, unfortunately. Who would have thunk that Koi skipping Fire Rod could actually turn out in his favor? Because guess what he's going up to get now?
Well, it's not a guarantee he's gonna get this. He got the mitts and he has the hook shot, so he's gonna be definitely going to take a look at Super Bunny Cave and Hookshot Cave, where we have 6 items here. Then it'll be interesting. This would be one of his better opportunities to go ahead and check Hera Basement, if he so chooses. But he's still trying to figure out where the boots are. He does know where Canis Samaria is, and he is in need of that Fire Rod, and as long as he remembers, Bombos is on library. This seed has been you having to go do a lot of different things in order to get your items.
It's kind of good for Koi right now. He is locked out of doing a lot of things with the items that he already knows where they are. So if he finds that Fire Rod, he's like, okay, Skullwoods. Probably does the Blacksmith Chain at that point, gets boots. Oh, that's the Samaria. Hey, we're good to go.
Yeah, and Beer is done with Mire, so he's going to go ahead and he's going to make his way into Dark Death Mountain here, and the Turtle Rock play is going to be very hard for him to pass up. But before he goes there, he's going to go ahead and check Ether Tablet for his Piece of Heart.
Well, he's got Super Bunny, 1 check, and that's logical in Hookshot Cave, and then it's going to be Turtle Rock.
Do you think he's going to make an attempt to try to hover Hookshot Cave?
Oh, speaking of Bombos, though, that is the requirement for Turtle Rock as well. Does Beer hover? Does he?
Ear does know how to hover, but if he is aware, obviously, you know, he only needs hookshot and bow, so the only purpose for him to hover would be to possibly find a bow. Now, if he happens to find a bow prior to going to Hookshot Cave, say for example, if there's one in Super Bunny, with the aside from the bonkable chest that he can get in Hookshot Cave, he knows the rest of it is not going to be useful for him at all.
You can see what Koi is doing now, though.
Yeah, Koi is finally going to get his fire out, but as you had mentioned, what seemed like it was going to be a really bad thing for him when he kind of isolated it and it kind of last located this fire rod might actually turn out to be very beneficial because of the order of the items that he got. This could definitely work out into his favor.
Only downside about his routing right now I can see is that he may not pick up Tempered and Ice Palace if he's already in go mode. But I would assume he'll take this and go to Skull Woods. He'll take that and go to Blacksmith and then go mode with Samaria.
Yeah, keep in mind there was tempered that Koi got from Hookshot Cave, so he may not necessarily get the Butter Sword from Ice.
Also a great position for GFE not to concentrate too much on the other runners. Gonna find Mitz here and immediately gonna be able to do Blacksmith if he wants to.
Again, he does not have knowledge of what's on Lumberjack though, does he?
Oh, Koi has Tempered Sword. I didn't see that. You know,
Yeah,
I'm not. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, Koi got temper from Hookshot Cave, so he's very content with his sword situation. He may not necessarily get his fourth sword in Ice Palace, but as far as the rest of the game is concerned, as swords, he's gonna be very happy with just having the tempered. And by the way, don't look on Homemade Beer's side. He has something that I know you don't like to see.
I didn't want to acknowledge it.
So just a recap for anybody that may have missed part of what we have going on here. We had a lot of early divergence here. GFE, Koi, and Norsk Maddie end up having the hook shot from the front of Escape that Homemade Beer has not gotten. In addition, there is a bow in the back of Swamp Palace that would ultimately be Homemade Beer's go mode. GFE, Koi, and Norsk Maddie have not done Smith Chain, so they don't have the boots. Norsk Maddie and Koi know about the Cane of Samaria that is behind Lumberjack, and also Bombos is on Library, so there's a lot of back and forth having to do here with some of our runners knowing what some of the other runners don't, which is causing a lot of divergence and making for a really entertaining race here.
And of note, Homemade Beer with a beautiful fire rod shot taking out both of the pokies. Thank you for the reminder, Drosy. We have mentioned it once, but don't forget, everybody, it's GFE's birthday. Don't forget to wish him a happy birthday. Welcome, Raiders from Speed Gaming 2. Welcome to the Link to the Past Daily Race on Speed Gaming 3. we've got Open Flute. With our racers here, Koi, Norse Manny, Homemade Beer, and GFE. It's GFE's birthday. And also, I am Lana Bean. I'm joined by Mr. Ed Cocom here, and we are also joined by Raka and Jinxie Girl doing all the tracking today and the hard work for us. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, it is definitely worthwhile noting all the volunteers there in the speed gaming community. It's thanks to them that's able to put out the shows here. And if anybody's ever interested in volunteering, we'd be more than happy to have you on board here. Everybody here in the speed gaming community is fantastic, and I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm glad to be a part of it, the commentary booth here with you, Lana, and hopefully the chat here is enjoying a really good race here, because I am enjoying this very much.
Likewise, fantastic fun here every time we come together, and these runners are all putting on a great show, as you said. We cannot confirm nor deny the recent comment there in chat.
Nice. I like that. Worth noting that Beer bailed out on Turtle Rock because he got all of his items, and he knows that pedestal is not worthwhile for him. Or at least he's assuming. So actually, no, he did check that. So, yeah, this actually is going to turn out to be really interesting. GFE got his boots from Lumberjack here. He's going to go ahead and he's going to check Purple Chest here. Although I did not recall if he actually went into the library to pick up Bombos. That's really interesting.
Well done. You get $1. Well, needs to get 2 bonk locations, needs that library for Bombos, needs that Lumberjack for Samaria.
By the way, because Koi did not do Smith Chain, he's electing to go to Ice Palace. He does get the 4th sword here. I do actually like the play that Koi's making here. He's kind of following the standard protocol of always beating crystal dungeons here. So, and if he happens to find his boots here, then he basically knows he would be in go mode, because he can get that Cane of Samaria. He knows that Mire entry is Bombos, and he knows where that is. So basically, he is just on the prowl for those boots right now.
And you didn't even acknowledge Beer's hover of Hookshot Cave.
Oh, well, we knew it had nothing anyway, so it was an impressive hover. I gotta give him that, but yeah, it did not produce the bow, so he's starting to quickly run out of options again as far as where he can go. He's gonna have to make his way to the front of Escape for that hook shot,
and he's going to be forced to go there very quickly. He is out of checks. So all GFE needs to do is go to Library, go to Lumberjack. Koi needs to go do Smith Chain, and he knows where the items are after that. Norse Maddie needs to do Lumberjack. Well, just needs to do Smith Chain, I suppose. And then the other stuff. And Beer needs to Mire right now.
Yeah, I was really hoping to see him switch to Mire there, but he's choosing not to. He's going to go ahead, and I think he's going to go ahead and check what Catfish has. As Norse Maddie is going to show us that it appears to be another $300. Very rich.
Norse Maddie is spending 7 that money. Gonna lose that 1,800 rupee edge.
I think he's got enough to spare here.
If he takes that Landmo, picking up crystal number 5.
Yeah, this race is still anybody's up for grabs. It's just we just don't know when they're gonna go to where we know everything is at. Beer, the nice thing that Beer has is he's had the boots for the longest, so he's been able to at least make some of these checks a lot quicker. Norsk, Maddie, and Koi still without the boots, and GFE having them for maybe about maybe a little over 5 minutes right now. So that's the one thing that's been beneficial to Beer, but he is basically all out of checks to my knowledge. I don't know what else he has as he decides to fluff that heart container. I appreciate that.
I fully approve.
We do have a mention in chat. Are we in no mode? Yes, we are. We are most definitely in no mode here. GFE is getting his Bombos, which is a hard required medallion for the entry to Misery Mire. We also know that the Cane of Samaria is on Lumberjack, and that is what is needed here. Beer is going to go ahead and he is going to choose to finish out Mire here. There is at least, I believe there's actually 2 items here still. I don't recall him getting any of them yet, so he's going to go ahead and finish this out and put off the front of escape as long as possible.
Well, unfortunate, but after this, I think front of escape's all he's got. I think after all we've seen, Norsk Maddie may be the first about to get in go mode.
I believe you are correct. Yeah, he does. He is aware of what's on Lumberjack. And he's going to get his Bombos medallion here, which will be entry into Mire.
Koi will be in go mode within about 20-30 seconds. Per se, no mode, I guess.
This might be the last chance that Beer has in order to finally figure out that he has to do the front of escape. It looks like he's gonna pick off. No, he's actually gonna do Bombos tablet. I believe, if I wasn't mistaken, the red crystal. Oh no, wait, the red crystal is swamp, so he doesn't even have that available. He just does not want to do the front of escape.
Hey chat, we've been waiting an hour and 22 minutes and 34 seconds, but Norsk Maddie has entered go mode. Wait a minute, if Koi knows that Lumberjack is red cane, why is he turning in a purple chest? Uh-oh.
I believe he might be on the verge of getting it now. He's gonna go. He may have either forgotten. I could have sworn I saw him check it earlier. Maybe he didn't. But this is gonna allow him to check King's Tomb here, and also he's gonna be able to check Lumberjack if he so chooses.
Rank worth. You're right, Lumberjack is gonna be the next check for Koi. Okay, and with a slight advantage, Koi is about to get in go mode and has Mire and Desert to clean up. Go mode at 124.25.
Yep, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Norsk Maddie has actually already defeated Thieves Town, so basically, as of right now, it looks like Norsk Maddie is just about possibly Desert Palace ahead. A little over Desert Palace ahead on this.
Oh, you're right. Cleared that when you got myths. You're right.
Norse King Maddie goes ahead and takes care of land mode for his 6th crystal, and he with Bombos, he's going to be able to go ahead and go mode Misery Mire, in which we do know it is basically a God Mire. It's a big key chest is going to be in the spike room here, and should be able to complete that nice and quickly.
Very convenient Mire for sure. Gonna be able to finish this off very quickly, especially with your Butter Sword. I think Beer's making the play.
Finally, you know, and if I were him, once I find that hook shot, I would be doing a lot of sword slashes.
I'd probably do sword slashes, a couple of bombs, one of each pendant, or not pendant, medallion, a couple of hammer hits, maybe a Samaria toss or two. And if you're feeling really sassy, a couple of bonks.
Koi finishes Landmo for his 6th crystal, and all he has left is Misery Mire, which is just right into here in the Dark World. And there's that hook shot for homemade beer, and he's had enough of here. So now he's going to more than likely make his way to Swamp Palace, where in the back he will find his Go Mode bow. And Norsk Maddie actually trying to set up spooky action, just did not get it to work, so he's going to go ahead, bomb this, hit the switch, and make his way to Vitreous here.
Boy, about to start their Misery Mire process as well. Or going over here.
Oh, he doesn't have Bombos. He forgot. He doesn't know it's on the library.
Oh no. Are we doing... Oh, we're doing Pyramid Fairy. He doesn't know about Bombos. Wait.
Yeah, I thought he saw it. Maybe he didn't, or he just mistracked it or forgot. But yeah, that's gonna give Norsk Maddie an even bigger lead here until Koi ends up finding Bombos here, in which Norsk Maddie goes ahead and does finish off Vidi. So that is his 7th crystal. You know what that means, Lana?
I think so, Ed. What kind of game do you think we should play now?
Oh, I think the good old reliable GT Big Key guessing game. Chat, get your guesses in. There are 22 checks available into Ganon's Tower. Where do you think that Big Key could be? I personally like to go with check number 10, preferably in Rando Room. Lana, do you have a preference as far as where you think the GT Big Key is?
I'll go with 9 tonight. That sounds like a solid choice.
That does sound like a solid choice. I hope for our runners here. I hope that they find it sooner than later because this has been a all over the place seed, and I think a nice little break would be well appreciated for these runners here. As Beer finally gets his go mode bow in the back of Swamp here, so he'll be able to finish off this seed. As Koi is going to go ahead and turn in Big Bomb, which we know does not have anything. GFE is going to head to the Mire area looking for Canis Samaria. I mean, this has been one entertaining seed.
Just a couple of spots stumping some of these runners, and only a couple of them ended up knowing where that progression was. Okay, GT Big Key guessing game ends as soon as Norse Maddie enters GT, so you have about 20 seconds to get your guess in. Homemade beer, not going to be too far behind.
And Koi gets his go mode bombos from the library, and now he is officially in go mode at 131.04.
And we are 0 for 2 in GT so far.
Look like just 10 arrows on the torch here as Norsk Maddie's going to go ahead and make his way to the Stalfos room here.
Oh, Beer has Eastern to finish up. Right. Four and 5, just small key. 6, small key.
Come on, give us the... Oh, I was really hoping for all 4 small keys there. That would have been fantastic.
Rarely seen. Would have been like, choose your direction. Do you choose right or left? I guess down.
All I know is this is if I was running the seed, regardless of where the GT Big Key is, I would have just made the wrong decision anyway, so it does not much matter to me. Fire Snake room here is going to be giving us 20 rupees. I believe that was check 9, unfortunately, Lana. So I'm holding out hope here that the first chest that he checks in Randall room will be number 10 and the GT Big Key. Let's see if I can get lucky for once.
You got this. But who do you think gets to GT first, Beer or Koi? Probably Beer.
Wow, well, I am the winner of the GT Big Key guessing game, but I don't count because that would be too unfair.
Looks like Smooth Jedi is the first guesser of 10. Well done, GG to you. Lifetime supply of rando seeds for you, courtesy of ALTTPR.com. Have fun.
Yes, the seeds will be provided by me and will be provided a lot of hilarity, I promise you that. So, GG, Smooth Jedi. Well done. Well done, my friend.
Okay, Beer heading up the mountain towards GT, and Koi finishing off Vitreous. About to be heading towards GT as well.
So Norsk Maddie definitely has a pretty decent lead here as far as the runners on Restream is concerned. It would be very close between Beer and Koi as far as what they do. Now, it is interesting as far as the GT Big Key being in Rando Room and the Stalfos room ended up having those small keys. GT routing is still very much alive. So the race between Beer and Koi is it's going to be very interesting, but this is definitely Norsk Maddie's race to lose here. As GFE is still just trying to scramble to figure out where that Canis Samaria is. He's thinking, this was my birthday, I should have gotten a nice easy seed. And I think he's going to be making his way to checking these items now.
And I think GT routing-wise, it's hard to say Beer isn't going to be in the lead regardless, but if Beer goes the route I think he may, which is Dark Magician, partial at least, Koi is a hardcore rando room rusher, so this should be interesting.
Yeah, if Beer ends up going Hope or just anywhere to left and going to Stalfos room and then going full right, that would allow Koi some time if Koi rando rushes. So we'll see what happens as Beer is going to be going left here to start here. He's going to see 10 arrows on the torch and he is fluffing it. I like it.
Look where GFE is going.
GFE is going to be getting his Canis Samaria from Lumberjack, and he's got to be thinking, dude, this is my birthday. I had to last locate this? Come on.
GFE, go mode, 136.06. And Beer going for the rando rush, so we'll be the first to get the big key.
Also worth noting here, we got Norsk Maddie's audio here. His MSU, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is Chrono Cross, which is another fantastic MSU.
Vanilla validation chest.
So now that Norsk Maddie has gotten to the top of GT here and is about to face Aga 2. Lotta, where do you think the silvers are camping at?
With what we've seen, GT. Trying to think if there could be anywhere else we haven't seen amongst all the runners, but I'm pretty sure it's got to be GT, likely right side or Isormos.
I'm gonna go think outside of the box here. I think that the only thing in GT is going to be a shovel, and the boots are in the dig spot. Or I'm sorry, the silvers are in the dig spot.
That actually could be a thing. If it is Light World, that's pretty accurate. Ganon giving us the cheese knowledge. Thank you, Ganon.
And Norse Maddie's making quick work with Ganon being very cooperative with the warps, and we're finding out that the arrows were in fact in Ganon's tower. Interesting.
Homemade Beer making quick work of the climb, and as is Koi.
All four of these runners are showing how good that they are with their execution. Just did not turn out to be really beneficial as far as where some of the items ended up being, but does not take away from how great all four of these runners are on Restream as far as how good they are at playing the game here. And again, if you like what they see, give them a follow. They are all fantastic people, as Norsk Maddie defeats Ganon, and it will be the first one of our Restream to finish as long as he does not fall in crossing that very deadly bridge here. Get your GGs in chat ready for Norsk Maddie.
Okay, we have Norse Manny, as you said, finishing first place on Restream. And we are finishing third overall with a time of 1:40.14 on racetime.gg. Well done and GG to Norse Manny. And on a quick note, we have Gamachu finishing in first place, 131.54. Vortex of Doom finishing in second place overall, 136.11.
At GG's to both of those runners. Well, this was not the easiest seed to navigate, as Beer's going to try to make ourselves a hover to Moldorm too, and he successfully gets it. Well done, Beer.
Covers are on tonight. Oh, and with that, we have Norse Manny joining us in the booth. GG to you.
GG. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a very fun seat to watch, but I can only imagine it being slightly aggravating as far as having to piecemeal all of the progression between not only having to do Aga 1, but knowing that Kana Samaria is on Lumberjack, trying to find yourself to the boots, seeing that Bombos' entry into Mire. It was a very difficult seat to navigate. What were your thoughts going through with this?
It's boots go mode. It's not great. I definitely I think I found the hookshot in Hyrule Castle, and it was with the key being lamp locked. I was thinking I'm a little bit out of logic here, and then I didn't want to do Aga, so I put it off until everything except Zora, I guess. I don't know. It was there's a lot going on, and if I had known that the cane was on the Lumberjack before I had beaten Aga, I probably would have done it sooner.
Yeah, no, that makes sense there. But the one thing that you did, that basically you and GFE did, you both of you ended up holding off on doing Aga for as long as possible. But where I think a lot of the advantage that ultimately worked in your benefit here is you were very efficient. Before making the commitment to Aga 1, you checked literally everything. Just to tell you a couple things, Homemade Beer ended up not doing the front of escape, so he hard last located Hookshot. Koi basically almost hard last located Fire Rod in Hera Basement. And GFE never looked on Lumberjack to get his Canis Samaria, so it ended up working very well for you in the end because you're very efficient. You got things done in a very quick and timely manner. And with the knowledge that you had, I think that definitely worked out to your benefit here on Restream.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I was thinking when I got the Fire Rod really early, I was like, I wonder if people are going to miss this because, I mean, it was before Aga, so I thought there was a greater chance that people would do it, but at the same time, Terror Basement, and if they had seen that cane, I thought they might just skip Hera entirely and just do do Aga to go into the Dark World. You have a lot of access to stuff with the hookshot, so and then the cane. I definitely could have missed it. I came very close to doing that.
Yeah, it was just you having to bounce around, knowing the fact that you needed those boots in order to finish the seed, to be able, at the very least, to be able to get the Bombos medallion. The seed just had you going in a lot of different locations, but I thought you navigated very well. As Homemade Beer defeats Ganon, and he's going to have to cross that very volatile bridge. Get your GGs ready in chat for homemade beer, as he is about to thankfully finish the seed for him. I know he's going to be thrilled to death.
And he does make it across.
He last located in the hookshot. You said I've been there in the farm escape.
Yeah, he basically kind of probably figured out this was most definitely an Aga seed and didn't really think about, maybe he just didn't really want to do the front of escape, just try to skip something. Yeah, that hook shot was hard last located. He probably did not feel good for him.
McCoy finishes off Ganon as well, so we have homemade beer crossing at 1:44.29. We have Koi crossing across, getting across at 1:45.03. GG's to both of them, of course.
As GFE's finishing up his Ganon's tower climb here. I'm not much of a singer, Lana, but I think we gotta sing him happy birthday. I think everybody here should be doing that, but that's my preference, as we have both homemade beer and Koi joining us on the restream. GG's to both of you.
Yo,
thanks.
GG's.
I only got like 4 minutes because I'm doing this ladder race.
No, that's fine. Koi, all I gotta say is this is, I was deathly afraid of when you'd be able to find that fire rod in Hera basement. I don't know if you had any inclination as far as checking Hera basement prior to going to Aga 1 or not, because I did not know when you're getting there.
No, because I scouted Lumberjack, and apparently scouting Lumberjack and seeing progression there is the worst thing that could possibly happen.
Yeah, just hard last locate the hookshot. Makes the seed easier, I guess.
Oh my god. So, you know, I know the cane's up there, so why would I do Hera basement when I could just go kill Aga, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely makes sense.
So I get the fire rod super late, and then I do swamp immediately. Where was the hookshot if you last located it?
Boomerang chest. There are things happen.
Oh, front of escape.
Lots of memes happen.
Okay,
yeah.
So I do swamp right away. I get this bow, and I'm like, hey, I have a bow now. I can go full clear a pendant dungeon, or I can cross the river. And apparently, you were supposed to do the pendant dungeon first, because if you do pod first, then you get your glove from desert, and you get your mitts in Thieves Town. And if you get your mitts in Thieves Town, you just do the smith sequence because it's right there. But I did it in the other order. So I get my mitts from desert, so I'm like, why would I go do smith sequence when I could full clear caneless
because you had the hook shot. Yeah.
So stupid.
But yeah, no, you put on a fantastic show, and we're happy to have you on board, and I don't want to hold you much longer.
The capper on everything else is that I forgot about Bombo-san library. So I
thought you saw that too, and I was like,
I know I saw
man,
it. I saw it like 3 minutes into the seed, and I didn't get the boots until 95 minutes into the seed. And the whole seed, I'm thinking about the cane on Lumberjack, and not the
yeah, because you couldn't get the cane. Okay,
yeah, so,
all of this is making a lot of sense. I will have to.
If I had remembered that, I would have at the very least, go mode to desert and skip Bombo's Tablet Pyramid Fairy. But oh well. All right, now I have 1 minute left before I have to do this ladder race, so I gotta go. Thanks so much for the restream, and GG's to Homemade Beer, Noise Matty, and I think GFE was our fourth one. We'll see you later.
GG, Koi.
Yes, he was. GG's, Koi. Take care.
GG's.
So
all right,
here,
Yeah, how about that hook shot? And I just got one real quick question. Imagine, why do you bother skipping anything? Like, seriously.
Yeah, that was gonna be my first thing. Basically, was, this is a perfect seed of an example of an always punish that I could do any route possible, like the clowniest, dumbest thing anyone's ever seen, and it totally works out for me, except for the one thing I skip, which happened to be escape this time.
Yeah, I mean, like for most of the race, you were the one giving us all the checks before anybody else was. But noticed
I felt so ahead until Fire Rod led to nothing, and then I felt so behind all of a sudden.
Yeah, we noticed that. I mean, I'll be honest with all the very early divergence. It was really interesting to see what everybody was doing, and then we noticed that all three of the other runners ended up having hookshot. And when you ended up doing Aga 1 and you got yourself into Swamp Palace, we're thinking, oh yeah, you'll be able to complete it. And then we took a look and saw, wait a minute, you never got that hookshot.
Yeah, I never had the hook shot.
And every time that you saved and quit and started the Dark World, Lana and I were just saying, Beer, just mirror. Just check the front of escape.
That was my plan,
mirror.
actually. I was going to do front of escape after Aga. That's why I kind of did the way I did it, because of, I don't know, no real reason. And then I was like, oh, wait, I have a ton of checks. I'm just going to YOLO Swamp. And yeah, that wasn't the play, turns out.
Did you go into Turtle Rock, Homemade Beer?
I full cleared Turtle. I full cleared everything except I only, I got the first chest in pod and bailed, and I full cleared the rest of the seed.
Okay. That's too bad.
Wait, what was in Zelda's cell?
Wasn't much of anything.
Okay.
I thought it was bombs?
Oh, I see. I saw Vortex in chat, but he's talking about a ladder race, so never mind.
Oh.
Makes sense. I see a red mail was found. No, wait. Oh, that's just GFE Sprite. I thought I found blue mail. Did I? I don't know. I guess Moldorm chest didn't have silvers though, since I just didn't do it.
That was an impressive
not.
hover. That and Hookshot Cave. I was very impressed with that.
Yeah, I got Hookshot Cave first try. That felt good. Yeah. GG's to GFE.
Yes,
Yes.
GG's. Get your GG's in for the birthday boy here who's about to cross that very deadly bridge. And is probably happy that this
Mindset.
seed is over.
Feel bad about beating him on his birthday.
That'll teach him.
GFE finishes
GG's.
4th on Restream and 11th overall with a GG race time to GG time of 1:51.18.
Now, Beer, we volunteered you to sing happy birthday to GFE because I have a terrible voice and Lana and I have been talking very loud or long, and we figured that you could sing him happy birthday.
Yeah, I would, but I know that the speed gaming rules are no singing, so I won't. But I'll say happy birthday, and I did in my title, in fact.
There you go. How about that magic use? 4,367. That's pretty impressive. That's high even by your standards.
Yeah, no, that's like... Yeah, that's... What the heck was that, anyway? I don't know. I use Ether a lot. Because I got Fire Rod so early.
GFE, happy birthday to you and GG as well.
Yeah, I already got my birthday licks and everything.
Yes, GG's
GG,
GFE, happy birthday, and what a seed to run on your birthday. How about the entire seed as a general? I know that you basically like to last locate that Canis Samaria. Well, you didn't like it, but you last located that Canis
was your last
Samaria on
location?
Lumberjack.
Yeah, and I never checked Lumberjack, and I kind of forgot Bonk checks existed. Yeah.
Mine was Hookshot.
When I get what?
Yeah.
Love that reaction.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I stole the key because I was gonna clear all of escape because I had the mirror, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do Aga instead, and I did Aga before Zora, before like anything really. I did Aga at like, I don't know, 18 minutes or 20 minutes or something.
Well,
then...
we both clowned. You just did better at it.
Well, I YOLO'd Hera, so I think my first... I found the mirror and a sword. It's like my first 2 progressions, and I went straight to Hera. I got the hammer, and then I went to the east side. I realized I ran out of bombs because I was dumb. And then I was like, wait, Moldorms are in the single item pack. So I went and I was like, let me pray to get lucky here. And I got a bomb drop to do the rest of Paradox. I'm like, cool. And I was going to leave, but I was like, you know what? Hera is such a stupid dungeon sometimes that it's like, oh, go in there, get an item to get another item to go back in there. So I just went straight back in, and I got the Fire Rod. Like, I had the Fire Rod at like 10 minutes into the seed. It was a route. It was a good clown.
It was clowning the only way that you knew how to. But yeah, this was a nice thing about this mode as far as the starting flute. It opens up a lot of different options. Basically, the moment that the race started, it just was literally a free-for-all. Everybody basically did something different. And it was a joy to watch, especially you, Beer. You just wanted to go all over the place. You YOLO'd Aga. Basically, you and Koi went there basically at the same time, but you had at least done Hera Basement where he had ignored it. GFE and Norsk Maddie ended up being very efficient as far as checking stuff prior to making the Aga 1 commitment. And then, it was just the sequence of items, seeing that there was a glove on Desert Ledge, ultimately seeing that there was a cane of Samaria behind Lumberjack, the boots, which are semi-trolly as far as being on the Smith chain is concerned, bombos being required for both TR and Mire. That's on library, that's locked behind boots. It was something else, to say the least.
Yeah, GFU, what was your favorite instance in this ridiculous seed?
I mean, I was happy to go back and get Fire Rock. It was like I could see people missing out on that, but at the same time, doing the east side of the mountain first makes a lot of sense. But then, like,
oh yeah, because you could have hookshot before the mountain.
Yeah, some people aren't going into Hera though. I will congratulate Vortex on the real first place finish. Gamma deserves a DQ because I'm sorry, there's no way he does all the checks that are required in this, because like half of them are checks he skips 90% of the time. So we're just going to call that a DQ.
He doesn't skip Smith if it's the boots though, right?
Yeah. He'll skip Smith any other time though.
Yeah.
Listen, as a gift to your birthday, we can disqualify the first place finisher to make it official that Vortex actually did win if he won.
That sounds exactly fair. I mean, it's probably what's deserved anyway.
Can't blame me there, but
it's still a lot of fun. I mean, these are going to happen. This shows what Rando is. I'm just glad it wasn't a tournament race.
Yeah. How's your tournament? You're in semis now?
Yep. Waiting on P-Trainer Schultzer, so.
Oh, it looks like I destroyed Gamma and collection rate this seed though. So.
I mean, everybody probably destroyed Gamma and collection rate.
Yeah, so that's fine. I mean, I double dipped like every dungeon, like literally. Was there a dungeon I didn't double dip? Pod, because I got the first chest and left.
Hera.
No, I double dipped Hera because I got the hammer left.
Yeah, Hera was double dipped. Desert was double dipped.
Yeah, you had to technically.
Pod was
single
no, you
didn't
dipped.
have to.
Swamp was double dipped. Skull was single dipped.
Skull was a nice. I just checked the 2 chests, I think, and I was like, cool, I'm done. Yeah, Thieves Town was free. Ice Palace was free. Mire, I double dipped every dungeon except for Pod, Thieves Town, and Ice. That was cool.
Fun stuff. But we very much appreciate yourself, GFE, Norsk Maddie, and Koi for putting on a fantastic show here. This has been very fun. This was a really fun race to watch, especially with all the divergence and knowing where everything is. I think, Lana, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was basically at about somewhere between 40 to 45 minutes. We were in commentators no mode. We knew where everything was, and it was just when were all of you guys going to go to where everything was? It was definitely something else. It was a very interesting seed to say the least.
Yeah, sounds about right. We had a pretty quick no mode, just everyone going in different directions, getting different forms of whoops. Where is this that I missed?
Yeah, no, absolutely, but. Lana, I don't know if Beer, if GFE, Norse Matt, if you got any final thoughts on this seed, any more happy birthday wishes you want to give to GFE? Again, singing is not allowed in the speed gaming regulations, but a nice hearty happy birthday wish is greatly appreciated to him.
Yeah, just GG's again to Vortex for crushing the seed and destroying everyone in the race room, and GFE, happy birthday again, GG's.
Yeah. GG's. It was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for the commentary and our trackers, of course. So, not gonna do good in all of them. So that's how Rando goes. This was a seed that got me.
Yeah, lots of good clowning available. It was fun.
I'll just say happy birthday to GAV and good luck to you in the rest of the tournament. And thanks to the comms and trackers and everyone for putting on this restream. It's always appreciated.
Yeah, no, it's with all the volunteers. Myself and Lana had the really easy job of being able to calm such a very entertaining race. Which, by the way, GFE, your collection rate is spectacular. You absolutely smoked here
Fantastic.
on that.
Yep.
So GG's on that. But
The real winner.
yeah, you are the real winner. I don't care what the RTGG room says. You are the real winner in today's race. So we thank you for that. But I'd like to thank all the speed gaming volunteers. I'd like to thank Jinxie Girl and Raka for setting this up. I'd like to thank the restreamers going on. Jaxie, I know, helped us out here. To everybody here in the speed gaming community and the ALTTPR community, thank you so much. And to my co-com, my friend Lana Bean, it is always a pleasure to share the commentary booth with you with such entertaining seeds. It seems like it's our calling card. It's very fun to watch, very fun to com, and I enjoy every time that I get a chance to do it with you. So thank you very much, and I hope to do this again soon with you.
Absolutely, I hear you, and I totally agree with you. Fantastic job today, always fun and entertaining. So just everybody, don't forget to follow Speed Gaming through Speed Gaming 6. Lots of good stuff going on here all the time, not just a Link to the Past, but speaking of Link to the Past, tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern in Frosia. No channel for that yet, but otherwise stay tuned. And I'll let Ed have the last word here. GG, thank you everybody, have a great night!
Yep, GG's to Koi, GFE, Norsk Maddie, and Homemade Beer. This is Speed Gaming 3 signing off. We'll be looking forward to future daily races. Just go ahead and go to, I believe it's speedgaming.org/schedule, and you can see the upcoming schedule from Speed Gaming Prime 2 through 6 and all the different languages. So thank you guys so much, and we'll catch you again soon.